Evening, everyone. This is my online review of the new Bachmann Spectrum 2884 Yellowstone N-scale steam locomotive. Got this today from MB Klein, and this thing is huge. Take it out of the package. One thing I noticed right off the bat is the new tender that Bachmann has designed. I've never seen this in any other N-scale Bachmann steam locomotive. So try to slide this out here, and it's being difficult, so I'm going to put the camera down. This comes in Bachmann's typical jewel case, along with the folded up manuals and isometric drawing views. If you want to get this thing open without trying to tear open the package, there's a little folded mechanism right there. Just slides up. You can more easily take this out of the package. I lifted this up for a split second to take it out, and that thing was heavy. Easily the heaviest steam locomotive that I own. Get that glass out of the way there. Very, very gorgeous model. Got wires going from the locomotive to tender. As I mentioned, I've never seen this tender before. All 12 wheels on the tender pick up power. Separately applied handrails, bells, whistles, lights, uncoupler lever, air hoses, pistons. A lot of this stuff is separately applied, and in my opinion it rivals any brass steam locomotive ever made. Another thing I've noticed is the two windows that are open in the cab there. You can see the number 7627, which according to research says that this B&O EM-1 2884 Yellowstone was delivered in 1945 in the second batch to the B&O Railroad. Alright, let's put this puppy on the track and see what she can do. You can see it on the track there. The third set of driver wheels on each bogie have traction tires installed. So 12 of the 16 driver wheels pick up electricity, as do all 12 tender wheels. So if you install a sound decoder in here, you probably won't need a capacitor. I will end up installing a Soundtrax decoder in there because of the huge tender. Plus it has I'll just show it to you now. I don't know if you can see that, but it has speaker openings at the bottom of the tender. This might be my first locomotive that I'll put dual speakers inside the tender, one facing up and one facing down. But that'll come a little bit later once I get a Soundtrax decoder for this. All right, let me fire up the DCC system here. Sorry, it's blurry here. Yeah, get something. There we go. It's focusing on the thing in the background and not the engine like I want it to. There we go. All right, let me fire up the DCC system here. All right, I'm gonna put it at speed step 1. Wow, this thing is unbelievably quiet. I don't know if you can hear that, but I barely can. That is speed step 1 out of 28. It probably could go slower if I switch to the speed steps out of 128. Come on. I apologize for the camera going in and out of focus. It's focusing on the chair in the background. That thing is creeping along. All right, I'm going to open it up a little bit. Turn on the headlight. That is bright. That is one bright headlight. By the way, this is Atlas code 65 at True Track, 11-inch radius, so the overhang on this thing is pretty drastic, but I don't care. I have a layout behind me that is has 9 3/4-inch radius curves. I'm going to test it out later on that to see if it will transit those tight curves. I've been told that it will, but time can only be the proof. This thing is incredibly quiet. Has a backup light. I'll put on now. You can see there. One thing I've read to increase the slow speed responsiveness is to look at CV number 2, which I'm going to do. CV2. Okay, it's set at 0, so which is what it should be. That CV2, for those unknown to DCC, is the V start, the voltage, the starting voltage that was normally set up at on a lot of other DCC decoders from Bachmann as 10 instead of 0. So that increases the starting voltage, so you get more of a jump than you would if that were set at 0. So set it at 0 if you want more slow speed responsiveness. But anyways, let's open this up a little bit. Oop. Reverse. Turn the light there. Like I said, the overhang is quite excessive on these 11-inch curves, but this thing is so unbelievable that I had to get it. This wheel arrangement, the 2884, was commonly known as the Yellowstone because Northern Pacific acquired the first one in 1928, and they operated near Yellowstone National Park, hence their nickname. It was the largest loco ever built until the Alleghenies and the Challengers and the big boys came along. The first Yellowstones had fairly small drivers, 63 and 64 inches. B&O took delivery of their of the 30 EM-1 Class 2884 Yellowstones between 1944 and 1945. Number 7627, which is what I have, was part of the second class, delivered in 1945. EM-1 produced 115,000 pounds of tractive force on its 64-inch drivers. It has approximately 5,900 boiler horsepower. The engine weighed about 627,000 pounds, and the tender weighed at 328,000 pounds, for a combined weight of a little over 1.01 million pounds. These engines, at least on the B&O, typically worked on the Cumberland Division West End subdivision. It also ran on the Pittsburgh Division over Sand Patch near Myersdale, Pennsylvania. Has 30-inch leading wheels, 64-inch driving wheels, and 38-inch trailing wheels. It's 128 feet, 8 inches long, 11 feet wide. Has a 25-ton coal capacity, 22-gallon tender water, 22,000-gallon water capacity in the tender. And out of the several that were made for large number of railroads, only 3 survive to this day, all preserved in Minnesota. That's it.